It's
You're right.
amazing.
Yeah.
So very nice. We're live on YouTube. So I'm going to start asking you to introduce yourself. After I'm going to do the same thing so we can know a little bit more about each other. So go ahead. What can I say about you?
Yes. Well, I'm Sydney. Currently, I live in Belo Horizonte. I'm an accountant. I married. I'm 39 years old. Well, to be here on Talk Talk for me, it's a great opportunity. Not only because uh, to enhance my abilities in that language, but also yes to participate in that faith and I think enjoyable environment. So in my free time, I like to play some games with my son, some video games, to speak with my wife, yeah, to have a moment together. So that's it.
That's that's amazing. All of that. And I want to know now from Christian. Hi, Christian. Can you say something? Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. So, my name is Christian Jimenez. I am from Bolivia. I work currently as a tech lead for a Brazilian institute. So I moved to Brazil 2 years ago because of my job. I am married. I I currently participate here in Talk and Talk in English and French immersion. I joined the TNT, I think, in 2022. Nowadays, I am a host in Spanish and English immersion as well. Let me see. In my free time, love I love singing in the church. I love to sing gospel music. I am part of a group of like a choir here in my church. I am an Adventist. That's my religion. So let me see what else. I love playing football as well when I have the time, when I have the opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't have so much for playing football lately because I moved to Curitiba the last year, and so I didn't find a group of people to play with. I love playing volleyball as well. It's a passion that we share with my wife. We love playing volleyball. And sometimes we have the time for do that here in the school that she works. And that's it. I love practicing French more than English. I don't know why. I think that's just because English was so difficult for me at the beginning, and nowadays I think that French is being kind of more enjoyable for me. And that's it, guys. A little bit about me.
Very nice. So many interesting things about you. And about me, I can say I'm El Tavares. I'm from São Paulo, the capital. I live here. I like to study languages. I intend to work with them in the future. And as Christian, I also enjoy learning and practicing the languages, not only for studies, but to enjoy this process. And of course, I really love to eat. I really love to travel. I really love animals, especially dogs. And that's it. I intend to travel more in the future, not now because now it's not the moment, but in the future for sure. Just get to know other countries, other cities, other places, new people, new cultures, all of that. So I think that's it for me right now that I can remember. And of course, just telling some things about the platform. Here, Talking Talks is a platform where we can practice English, Spanish, Italian, French, and Mandarin. In the future, we'll be able to practice other languages too. And here's a safe place to make mistakes. So we're not here to judge anybody. We are here to make mistakes, to learn with our mistakes, with seeing other people, with this communication that we have here. And that's the main point. So I'm not a teacher, not going to teach you anything, but everybody's going to learn a lot from each other's point of views, experiences, and much more. Well, just to remind you, this is a conversation 100% in English. Of course, we can say some words in Portuguese if that's necessary, but it's mainly in English. And now that I said that, we can start with the questions. I just send the questions here for everybody to see. And the theme is the future of work. So a very interesting theme that I want to ask Christian to ask, no, to read and answer the first question. Can you do that?
Yeah, sure. Let me see here. How do you think remote work will continue to evolve in the coming years? So I'm not sure because if we think a little bit more or a little bit deeply in this question, we didn't know that it could happen someday. I think that when the remote work started, it was something that happened suddenly because of the pandemic, you know. So I'm not sure how it's gonna evolve. I think that it haven't changed so much from it started because in my case, I work remotely, so I continue doing the same things. Obviously, in my opinion, the only thing that can happen will be maybe maybe some things that can help us, maybe some gadgets or some applications involved with technology. I think that the only thing that can happen is that. Um, Actually, I've heard that some companies are asking their employees who started working remote or remotely to go back to the desk. So I'm not sure it's gonna evolve in giant steps, or maybe some of them are gonna some remote jobs will end. I'm not sure about it. Um, but I think that it's kind of tricky to think how it's gonna evolve because we don't know. Maybe it's gonna end someday. I'm not sure. That's it. And you, Sydney, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree what you said, Christian. It starts. I think in a urgent time when we were facing that that problem about the coronavirus, and the well, it's I think in my opinion remote to work remotely give for the companies a kind of advantages. So that's why they are allow the people to work remotely, and they also I think the productivity of the people increase a lot. But of course, because they need to adapt to work in their house. But I don't know. I heard that there are some big company that they are calling their employees to come back to the company to work physically there. It's because, in my opinion, the bosses they have more control on the employees when they work when they can see their workers working together in the same space. But of course, there are. Uh, but think about that. For example, the people who work in a technological area like you, that it's more possible to work remotely. But yeah, for me as well, like as I work as an accountant, but it can be more difficult when the people the things start uh, to come in a normal situation. Yeah, and about the bosses, yeah, they want to the people come back, and yeah, it's a kind of impossible to predict the future if the remote work will evolve in the coming years. My opinion.
Yeah. I think, as you said, it's not possible to know for sure what's going to happen. We based on what's happened already happened and how things are going, we can kind of presume, I don't know if that's the word, but what can happen. And I think, like, of course there are some works that it's not possible, at least nowadays, not be presential, like in physical there, person to person. But I do see that as the kind of the future, like enhance more that the people that work from home. And I know people that already worked before at home before the pandemic. So for them, basically that didn't change. Of course, the economy, all of that's impacted, but the fact of, okay, I need to go to work every day, 9 to 5, no, that didn't happen. And of course, talking about this, I do know, it's not, I don't work, but they don't have one specific word. But I do know some companies, some big companies that realized during the pandemic that, okay, going everybody to their home, working from home, that was better. The production, all of the people, because they were more comfortable at their home, so they didn't have the stress to go to the work or to go back to home. So that was better, and they found that, okay, let's do it. Why didn't we do it before? But that's something really great that I saw. And of course, having this in mind, that can be really different depending on the of the objective of the person. Like if they want to work from home, that's the best place, because they want to, they have all the freedom that they can, you know. But of course, if the person is more productive at the work because of the environment, they don't have all of the home, you know, around them, that maybe that can distract them from doing the real work. Maybe that can be the case of working presentially. But I see that in enhancing in the coming years, because the technology, all of that, I think we can even not imagine all the technology that will be, but we can try to enjoy it, try to use it the best way we can. So if that's it, for us to have a better life, or to just try to focus less on the job, on the work, and try to live more. So that's, if that's the key, let's just do it if we can now, you know. And about second question, what skills do you believe, Sydney, will be the most important in the future job markets?
In my opinion, it's not only about, not just about the future job market, but the skills. Currently, it's very important to the job market. For example, soft skills. I think many of the people, they focus so much to learn things about their jobs, but I think there are, I think, what can I say? There is a soft skills. There is another skills. I think that technician skills. I think. But for me, soft skills is one of the most important things that the people need to focus. For example, to be a good emotional intelligence, I think to have empathy, a good communication in the company is crucial to maintain, yeah, a good relationship with everyone. The ability to manage the emotion, our emotion and the emotion of the people is, I think, is very important. As well, not, but when we work together with many people, different background, different experience, it's important to manage the things, and also it helps us to build our network with them. I think analytical skills is very important as well. When we work, we need to analyze many things. I think analyze some problems, analyze data in order to, I think, to make a good decision, of maybe a bit, in a fast, in a quick way, because some people they spend a lot of time to solve a problem, and the time for a company is money as well. So most of the time we have a lot of responsibility, so we need to solve that problem very quickly. And like I said before, I think yes, communication skills to be clear, and the not in not in speaking, but to send a message or email, to have a good written skills. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I'd say especially when we are talking about leaders, how they manage all of that, because people depend on them too. So, and of course, they depend on people, their superiors, something like that. So it's even more complex, I'd say. It's not just okay, I do my work, I don't really care about what's really happening, but I do that, and of course, okay, bye. No, it's something that they had to have to manage all of people of the of the team, for example. And that's the main point that you said, Sydney, about the soft skills. I do believe that nowadays people are so focused on the hard skills about the job itself, what they're going to do, but it's missing the soft part, the soft skills that they have, the communication that they have. And that's something really interesting to stop to think about, because to see the evolution that we're having. So with this in mind, that can be really great, having this differentiator in your life, in your professional life. Okay, no, I do have all of the package. I do have soft skills, I do have hard skills, and not being arrogant, but I am complete for that. So that's something really interesting that I can say. And let me see. I can say, yeah, that's the main point. What do you think of this, Christian? Number two.
So I totally agree with you guys. Another thing that I wanted to add is that before we thought that English was kind of a soft skills. Nowadays, in my personal opinion, English is becoming a hard skill. It's all I would say that it's almost mandatory to have English or a second or third language nowadays to be competent or be 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 have that visibility on the current market. I think that another thing that I wanted to say was behavioral skills. I just had an interview the last week. Was in a company of Netherlands, and I got so surprised when they asked me about how I receive feedbacks. I was so surprised because I had never got these kind of questions, so I had to invent something at the moment because at that moment you get nervous and you have to answer in English and it's kind of tricky. But I got surprised because one of the question was that how do you give and how do you handle feedbacks, negative and positive feedbacks? So I think that the communication skill will be crucial for us in the future. All of the skill that I related between our communication with people, how we behave with others, uh, even more if you will play a role of a leader. I think that those kind of skills will be critical for us in the future. I think that it have changed it a lot because, in my personal opinion, in the past, companies were more aware or more worried or concerned about technical hard skills, the hard skill that we call it that we call it nowadays. But I think that nowadays and in the future, the companies are more concerned about how we communicate, how we behave with others, how we can um, work together. how we maybe interact with other people. I don't know how it changed and how or why did it change it did it changing nowadays, but for sure it's gonna be those skills will be the more important in the future if they are not nowadays already.
Yeah. And how's that been in your experience, Christian? Like you said, you have an interview. So how's that like being the interviewed one? Was it talking about this future job? How was it for you? Was it like from home, work from home, all of that experience?
Sorry, I didn't get. I think I didn't get your question in the right way. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, talking about the whole experience as being interviewed in English in a different language that is not your mother
Okay.
language, and of course, if that's the work by working from home or going physically.
So the work offered relocation to Netherlands. So that's why I apply it because I think that I repeated that a lot of time here in Talk and Talk. I want to move to another country with my wife. So
So you
the
would
work,
move.
yeah, I want to move to another country. So if I got the job, I would move to Netherlands. Sadly, I didn't pass the second round because I don't have so much experience in a specific hard skill that they needed to for that position, and because of the law of the country, they couldn't me consider a senior without that hard skill, and I just got the salary needed for giving me the visa of working if I were a senior, so they couldn't consider me a senior just because of that hard skill. So I couldn't pass the second round. But about my experience, I think that I felt more confident with my English because I've done a lot of interviews in English so far. So I think that I got the enough experience for resting calm, for resting maybe some natural in the conversation. And I would say thanks for hearing Talk and Talk because I practice here every day. So I think that English is not an barrier and problem for me in interviews anymore. Obviously, I need to improve a lot of different things, like the hard skills. Try to explain them in a right in other way or in a friendly way. Something interesting that asked me was as well try to explain a technical part of my position to another to the interviewer who was not technical, and my interview was with two guys, and the first one guy was the technical one, and the other one was the interviewer that didn't know a lot about my role. So the technical one asked me to explain him to the other one something that was so technical, but in other words, to make him understand understand something so technical, and it was so tricky. But I felt so well. The work was not remotely. I had to travel to Netherlands, and I think that's not the answer of your questions.
Yeah, that is so interesting. I didn't got the point about you needing to move there, but so interesting. And Sydney, about the third question, how do you think automation and AI will impact employment opportunities?
Yeah, I think it will impact strongly in many areas. For example, it will create new jobs and new industries. We can see we can see clearly it currently in many industries, like for example, in the cars industry, there are many automation, many robots uh, helping the production line. I think so. In the healthcare as well, they are using AI to robots as well to make some surgeons, I think surgeons, and the surgeons now they are able to make that things from different countries using robots and things like that. In the transport area, we can see Uber applying acting in that area, Airbnb in the, I think, in the properties, to rent properties. I think economically it will impact in the people who have a strong, they are very skillful. I think they will see a significant raise in their gains. But the people who don't have I think a good skills, they will, I think, the low skills, they will face unemployment, of course, unfortunately, and they will also their jobs are when they work in a, I think, in a manual work or labor work, their jobs will be easily replaced for robots. It's more replaceable than other jobs. And about the relation between human beings and the AI, I think we are afraid a lot to that, but when we think that it will help us to, well, to have more time, I think, to do the things more automatically. I think it will help us to give us another ideas, help us to enhance our abilities, maybe to, yeah, about creativity. Yes, allow us to do, I think, the complex things. Yes, so that's my opinion.
Very nice. There's a sentence, a phrase, I don't know, that I read this week, and I don't know if you guys seen it, but the I'm going to read it. Is I want AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do art and writing, not for AI to do my art and writing so that I can do my laundry and dishes. So, having this, I think nowadays we have this preoccupation of, oh my God, the AI is going to take my work out of me. It's not, I'm not going to be able to work anymore because the AI will already do that. So what can I do? And having this, I can say, collective panic is not great because, of course, we should think in a rational way, but not in this collective panic because everybody will just talk, and we won't have a solution of anything. So let's just keep our foot on the ground and to think better. Okay, what can I do to be different than AI? What can I do to not to lose my job if that's the case? I think being able to handle these unexpected events can really help because, for example, talking about translation, okay, because I'm studying for the area. So talking about translation, okay, a person goes to AI, it translates the book. But okay, it's different. It won't have the feeling of the conversation of the context that the author wanted to give us. So no, we need a person to do that. It's different having this human perception of over things. And of course the experience only us can have. And even if we try to give the robots, to give the technology our expertise, it's different than a human. We have emotions, it's totally different. So it impacts directly, but as I said, we need to find out these different things that we do from the AI, so we don't get, you know, over, no, I don't know, engolido by the technology. So having these differentiators is the main point. And of course, the what we were saying about speaking multiple languages and about the soft skills, communication, all of that. What do you think of this, Christian? Number three.
So, in my personal opinion, I would say that we don't have to concern so much about AI because I think that there exists a panic in people nowadays that think that AI is going to replace us in our jobs. I already I already heard on the internet that software developers will disappear because with AI you can write your code just asking to the machine to do specific work. But it's not like that. So if we think a little bit deeply on it, AI is just another tool for us. We have to learn how to live with this, and we have to learn how to work with this together. Because if, as I already said, if we think a little bit deeply about it, some years ago, uh, computers were computers didn't exist, and maybe when they appeared, they was the AI for people who were in our position back then, you know. So maybe they were concerned about the computers because computers were so powerful. They were able to calculate and to do a lot of tasks at the same time. And maybe the society or people saw the computers like we are nowadays facing AI. So nowadays computer is part of our lives. In fact, we it's something that it asked is I think it's asked in the job position. We need to most of us we need to know how to work with computers, how to at least work with Word, with Excel, and with those kind of programs, you know. So I think that with AI we have to do the same. We have to combine with it. We have to learn how to use it. Specifically at least in my field, I've seen some of job position who ask that you have to know how to interact with AI because we can integrate AI with our projects, and some projects need to integrate with it. So it's something that is already asked. But in my personal opinion, AI won't be able to replace an employee 100%. We should consider AI as a copilot because it needs a human behind to work well. As you already said, if you try to translate something from one language to another one, the AI won't be able to translate it properly in a way that a person would write it. And it's the same in any specific field. So I think that it's something that we don't have to be concerned about in the way that people is panicking nowadays.
I see. And how's that for you, Cindy? Do you think you said you are an accountant, so how do you think that can impact you? Do you think you can lose your job, something like that? Well, he turned off the camera. I
My internet does
Mm-hmm.
and low, but could you speak? Could you repeat the question,
Sure,
please?
sure. I said, how do you see that the AI in your job? Because you said you are an accountant, so do you think that can um, replace you in that position?
Yeah, I have some fears about that, but to be honest with you, I'm not following some technology that advanced in my area so much. Nowadays, of course, I have my software and I use some tools in that to do some things automatically. I think automation in my area is a reality, but I need to participate in some, I think, conferences, event in order to be updated about that advancement. But well, I know that to do some to make some reports, I think to organize together some data in order to show some specific situations about the company, the industry. It's now a reality. Man, especially in the ChatGPT, I watched a video that a person made, I think, they show how to use ChatGPT to make a spreadsheet Excel about a specific situation, and I was amazed how it works now. But yeah, I need to have more, I to take a time and to know more about that advancement in my area.
Yeah, it's important, I'd say. Of course, I'm not in that area, but um, not to be so, not acompanhar any of the technologies. As you said, you kind of have this contact with it, so that's great. But if you just stop, in general, if people just stop using it, they will ficar para trás, maybe, because things will evolve. And if the person is not um, interacting with the things that are happening, that can be a bad thing for them. So interesting. And question about number 6, we'll skip a few questions. What are the potential benefits and challenges for of a 4-day work week? What do you think?
So I heard about it in the news. So I know that some countries already applied this kind of rule. I know, for example, that France, in France, employees just work for I think that 4 or 5 4 years, 4 days every week, and they say I follow some influencers on not influencers, yeah, I would say influencers on YouTube, French influencers, because I am trying to practice my French listening, and all of the most of them talk about how we consider French people so lazy, just because they just have to work for 4 days every week, and they explain it in a really good way. That they say that it's not like that. It's not something that they asked for. It's something that the country accepted or adapted for the employees for people for have a better quality of life. And they say as well that the way that they apply it is so good because they feel that are more efficient and the performance that and their performance is better in those for days every week. Obviously, I think that it was a process. Obviously, maybe when they changed it was kind of a tricky. It was kind of tricky because when you start doing something new at the beginning, it can seem that it's difficult, or maybe it's not making sense, or you can see the progress of that, or the meaning of that. And I think that nowadays it's part of their culture. I'm not sure if it happens in other countries. I know about France because, as I already said, I am so focused on my French learning. uh, I think that it will be a lot of benefits, even though even though people think that we are not gonna work so much as we work to nowadays. But I have my concerns, my doubts about if it can work here in Latin America or South America, because I think that our culture is different than Europe culture, for example. Here in South America in general, we are so used to work so hard. We don't have so too many time for us, so much time for us. We are so concerned about making money, and I think that this is part of our culture. That's why when we move or when Latin people go to different countries for different reasons, you know. Uh, for example, in the United States, they think that we worked so hard and too much time because they are not used to work that hard and that much. And I think that it's part of our culture. I'm not sure it's gonna work here in Brazil or in any country in South America. And that's my opinion, guys. I have to leave now because I have a Spanish immersion at night at 9 a.m. So I have to prepare here my stuffs. Okay, so
No
have a good
problem.
Sunday. See you later.
You too. See you. And what do you think of this, Sydney, about number 6?
Yes. Well, you can see what the potential benefits and challenges of a 4-day work week. Yeah, one of the potential benefits clearly is about the work-life balance. I think we can have a better work-life balance to have time for ourselves and to do things we love to do, our hobbies, to spend our time with our families. I think also to have more time to rest, to sleep. It's very important, and also it reduce the burnout, like Christian said. We we work so hard, I think, and also there are other specific things. For example, in many of the countries, not many of the cities, we don't have I think a good infrastructure. So I think about the roads, avenue, and the traffic as well. There are a lot of uh, congestions, and we waste many times in that commute. So it makes us very tired, exhausted, and the about that, let me see. I think another potential benefit is to increase it. It's interesting because I don't know if we will increase the productivity because we need to manage our time, our workload, and it can be a potential challenges to manage that time because I can see my company may not doing things that is not related about the work. Some conversation. Internet, my internet is not very good. So some conversation that is useless about useless subjects. So I don't know if I think to the manager, I think to manage it could be a challenge for everyone. And the of course another potential challenges would be, for example, I think some industries it won't be possible to have that 4 days week because for example, the people who work with transport in an industry to manufacture, for example, food, biscuit. If people who work in that in the how can I say, in the floor of the industry, they I think they it will a kind of increase the sense of inequality because they will see the people who work in the office have 4 days work in a week, and for them it will not be possible. So I don't know if it will I think increase that sense of inequality in the company.
Yeah, as you said, there are these two sides of it. The employee and the person, the company that hired the employee. So having this in mind, I think there will always be both sides. So of course the pros and cons, and a group of people wanting one thing, a group of people wanting another thing. But related to that, I don't really know if that's something that could work here. I didn't know about what Christian said about France, and I study French, but I didn't know that there they have this, they do this about 4-day work week, and I don't know if here in Brazil we could do that. Of course, that would require time, and because it's a whole process, but I don't know. I think, for example, okay, I will, if we everybody starts to work like that on a 4-day work week, will we receive less money? I think no. I don't know. Maybe the amount of days, so that can be proportionally reduced. But okay, we'll receive less, but we need money to live, so we'll need more money to complete that. So the company will need to hire other people, but will they have the enough money to hire them? So I don't think, I don't know, that involves many different things and points that maybe we as just normal people here cannot understand things. But it's something that we can change, we can think about. I don't know in what step it is in to compared to the real life, but something that we can try. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, just one more question since I don't think we have time for more. I was thinking here, number 9. How do you think the concept of a traditional career path is changing? Do you think it's getting better? How do you think it?
Yeah, no, it's a good question because especially with the within the new generation, I think in the generation of our parents, our grandparents, they they had a conception of to start to work in a company and work there for 30 years in a row and retire in that position and in that company. And in those days, they didn't think about to take a position in another company or about their career to improve for another position, the same career, I don't know, to improve themselves. Of course, in those days, the things were very difficult. I think about education, did have so many universities, courses, and the things like that. But I think, for example, for me, I'm not. Of course, I try to do my best in my work in that company I'm working, but it's I try to improve every day my ability, my skills in order to be to 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 be attractive to the job market, to the other companies, because I don't want to. I want to have opportunities. I don't to. I'm not want to. I don't want to have a like a to stay in the same position and uh what can I say, to be a slave in that company, because some company they arrest it's a kind of prison. They arrest you and they realize that you need that position to because we have, I think, it's a kind of thing that personally I want to I work for the company, for me as well, and to be attractive, to be attractive professional in that job market. And if, for example, there are many people that they don't think about that. They don't think about their future, and they remain, I think, stagnate in the same situation. I think it's a dangerous thing because everything can happen in the job market, in the industry, in the economy, and we don't have control in it, but we have control in ourselves. So when something happens and the company fire you, or we have opportunity to find opportunity, we have an opportunity to find the work in the other companies. So yes, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think like before, of course, I don't blame them because of that. That was their conditions and the environment that they were. So I don't judge that at all. But before in the past years with the parents and grandparents and all, that was their situation. So all they could think about is about the okay, get a job. You just need to work. Don't do anything else. Just work and go ahead and stay 30, 40 years there and just get your retirement. I think that's it. But nowadays, for example, this is completely different. For example, myself, I don't see me in a for 30, 40 years in a company. Like I think that all the things change and we can be different. The whole situation can be different. And of course, having talking about this already knew path that we were going, like the parents in general were kind of okay, study, go to high school, then you go to the college, you learn there, and then after that you are done that, you can find a job and then you can stay there for years. But with the entrepreneurship, all of those different things that can happen are really different. And I kind of have this mentality of not being attached to one company. Not only about this, but I can do it my own way. And of course, I don't see that as a bad thing. Like I see maybe that can be necessary for me. So okay, if I need to work in a company, stay for a while so I can get money, anything, that's okay. I'm totally fine with it. So having this open mind to this new things, opportunities about work, all of that involves so many things, and it's something great, I can say, that changed over the past years, and that could be even worse if we didn't stop if we stop to evolve, to evolve, to have this evolution. But nowadays I think it's one of the greatest thing that can happen to us, have this opportunity to have this choice. Okay, I want to be there, I want to go there, I want to follow that path or not, something like that. So thank you very much for being here today. That was a pleasure, as always, being here and meeting you again. So I just want to ask you one more question. What did you learn today in the conversation? That can be anything. Can you say something?
Yeah, I learned some interesting things about your opinion and the Christian's opinion, that about that questions, your answers, and the how the things are improving, are evolving. I don't know how to say, and because in nowadays, yes, we need to pay attention in that things. All the things are changing. That are 4 days in a war, 4 day work in the work, and all the industries have been changing, and it's important to be aware about that challenge, the changings and challengings, and find a way to involve as well, like that things.
That's it. So thank you very much again, and I hope to see you again very soon.